October 4th, 2024. Toledo Speedway.
Race fans, are you ready? We are just a few moments away from cracking the engines on the Owens Corning 200.
History was once again made, which seems to be a common trend if you've listened to the previous 9 episodes of this podcast.
There it is, the Arca Series champion flag. I know he wanted to end up in victory lane as the winner of this race. He gave it his all.
For the first time in the history of the Arca Series, a driver born outside of the United States was crowned as champion. Throughout the 2024 season, the Drive for Diversity wheelman wasn't able to find victory lane, but he was able to put up some impressive stats, racking up 10 top 5s and 17 top 10s, with 2 pole awards, finishing outside of the top 15 only once.
I don't think we could be any prouder than we are. It's a complete, total organizational effort to support them every week, day in and day out.
I mean, in his 41 races over 3 years in the Arca Series, he has only finished outside of the top 15 on 4 occasions. That driver was 19-year-old Mexico City native Andres Perez.
I'm just going to enjoy the moment, enjoy the championship is a great thing, and thank you to all my guys here, Rev Racing, Chevrolet, Max. It was a great year. I'm so very thankful.
You're listening to Driving Change, a celebration of 20 years of NASCAR's Drive for Diversity. I'm your host, Crystal Clay. Not only did Andres bring home another title to Rev Racing, his teammate LeVar Scott finished second in the standings. After the season, the two sat down with the NASCAR regional team to reflect on their 2024 campaign.
I think we started the season knowing that we had a chance to fight for it, but it was going to be tough. I've had enough races to soak it in, and really think about how big of a deal it is. And it's probably the biggest achievement of my career so far. So it's been such a great year.
Obviously, we're still trying to chase that first victory between us, but when it comes to just being consistent on track and always running in the top 5, top 3s, and just having good people around you to know when to move up, how to move up in the bigger things. Like Andres earlier this year did a truck start, and just having the people around you to help that. And so I think Rev has just been amazing to us on and off track, just having the right personnel around us that they provide. Yeah,
I think this year, the whole team, it just feels like a great atmosphere. Like everybody in the team is working really good, and the results are showing. Not only the drivers, but also the people working in the cars are pushing themselves a lot because they want to perform good, and we have. Like 1-2 in the championship it's a result of the whole work. Not only the team, but also the people that are behind this. Like NASCAR, Chevrolet, obviously Max Eagle, which has been great for this team, and yeah, they're doing great things. And me and LeVar are great showing of that with the results in Arca, and also with what the future holds for both of us.
The fact that 2 Drive for Diversity drivers were battling on the track and pushing each other to be better competitors was the driving factor that NASCAR executives and other sports luminaries laid out at the announcement of the program 20 years ago. Cesar Villanueva was there that day as one of the first crew members to be part of the new program.
Cesar Villanueva, Team Morgan Dollar Motorsports, team owner Rob Morgan and Dave Dollar, sponsored by Nextel and Husqvarna. This is our all-star team. Join me in giving them a hand, please.
With the Drive for Diversity program, that first class that we had that I was a part of, when they had our media day, right across the street from Concord Airport, NASCAR's got that R&D center. When they built that place brand new, like one of the first events they had in there was our media day. So they had the drivers, the crew guys, and we all had like a poster board with our face on it and told us what team we were going to be representing. I still have that poster board.
The first thing I'll probably do is meet with all these great men and women that you got introduced to, and there's some more in the house that I will meet with. Reggie White and I will definitely sit down and talk. And only thing I'm really excited about is just the opportunity.
The program was also backed by Magic Johnson and the late Reggie White. So I met both those guys at the time because they said, hi to everybody. Magic, he signed my poster board with my face on it. It's massive. Hopefully I proved that the program works. I've gotten a chance to to win races, to win championships. Truck, Xfinity, Cup, it's a big deal that they decided to pick me and at least able to show that, hey, I can, we're winning races. The Drive for Diversity, with how long now with them, here it is, it's running 20 years strong, legit.
Caesar's path to the program was a little unique, as he explained to me when I sat down with him.
The Drive for Diversity program started in 2004. If you back up from that, Dodge actually had a diversity program as well. I think they had for 2 years, 2001 and 2002. Anyways, I was part of the 2002 applicants. I went to my first race. It was Spring Darlington 2002. Sterling Marlin won that race. Shortly after I got back from that race, my girlfriend at the time, she was graduating college and her parents were going to get her a car. So we were checking out all the automobile websites. There was a link on the Dodge website said motorsports internship. And that's pretty cool. So I clicked on that. You had to write a 200-word essay of, why we should pick you. Like, well, that's easy. I mean, I just went to the race in Darlington. Actually was sponsored by Dodge, so it all makes sense. And I sent that application in. 2 months later, I got a call. As a finalist, I had to take a 200-question ASE style exam. So ASE is that automotive service excellence that, regular mechanics know what they're doing and they see those certifications, they can get paid more. And I've never worked on a car in my life. I mean, I was in college as a computer engineering major. I just remember there was so many different sections about a car that I was just picking, abacadabra. A, B, just read a question once, pick an answer, live with it. There was an electrical section though, as part of that deal, and I know I aced that. I mean, they just asked basic electrical type questions, and that's what I was going to school for. The guy who proctored this exam, I guess normally proctors these tests regularly. I was done in like 40 minutes. He goes, "Are you sure you're done?" I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. "Are you sure you're done?" "Yes, sir, I'm good." "Okay." And then, off I went. Another month after that, I got a phone call and said that, "Hey, congratulations, you've won this scholarship to this new NASCAR Technical Institute that they're building in Mooresville, North Carolina." I'm like, whoa. I thought this was supposed to be some motorsports internship or something like that. It was not. Instead, it was a full scholarship to this new tech school that they're building down here. I think there were 7 of us that went through the school. We had to maintain like a 3.5 GPA or something like that. I believe I'm class number 2 that graduated through the school. I mean, you think that was 22 years ago. That's ultimately how I ended up down here.
Caesar has won championships in all of NASCAR's top 3 series, but in 2021, he was part of Kyle Larson's title run, winning the sport's highest honor, NASCAR Cup Series champion.
Now he is a Cup Series champion in 2021. Kyle Larson across the line. He will win in Phoenix.
Man, it's so hard to win a Cup championship nowadays. You gotta advance through all these rounds. Everything has to go right. If everything does go right, you still have to go to a one race deal, and you either have to win or be the best of the 4. Man, that feeling though, once you cross that finish line, you've won. You can't put it into words. I mean, it's just that money stop and that whole finish. I mean, it's crazy.
As Mike Helton and Brandon Thompson will tell you, this is what the program is all about.
I think athletes are athletes, and they are followed and supported because of their unique ability. And when we give anyone the opportunity to take their unique ability and apply it in a sports environment, a sports entertainment environment, then that works for everybody. I think what NASCAR really is looking forward to one day is that it all blends together. It's just one very systematic program. It doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what gender you are. If you want to be involved in our sport, it just all flows together, and there doesn't have to be a particular effort because it's just part of it.
you almost can't script it. And I think when I look at this year in particular, the way that, we were able to start the year in the 20th anniversary with wins from Daniel and Nick and Raja, and we're waiting on Boba to get his. It is sort of poetic justice in some sense, but it's rewarding to be able to see those things come together at a time where we're talking about it. And I think it really puts the proof out there that the program works, and that the program is not a gift or some charitable thing. It's about the fact that, I joke all the time, some of the best race car drivers are probably playing in the NBA or NFL or soccer or doing something else because they likely haven't been exposed, right? And so I think that when you see drivers that are able to have success and to have success not once and not twice, right, but sort of sustained success, it really does add some validity, not only to the program, but to the efforts that NASCAR's putting forth to continue to be able to grow the sport.
Darrell Edwards wasn't a member of the program, but he has been on pit road for a while and has seen how the program has impacted pit road firsthand.
I played college basketball at High Point University, and I had a guy named Richard Payne who was at Richard Childress Racing. Give me the opportunity, tell me about NASCAR, inform me, give me some knowledge about it, and I basically hung the shoes up and took a leap of faith by joining into a sport that I've never done. Because typically, like the way I came, did an internship, went straight to Richard Childress, which is a big company, but starting through D4D, they'll give you that opportunity to get into these big companies. I was kind of fortunate and lucky to just walk right into a company and start off like that, but going through the D4D program, they'll be able to get you in front of these big organizations and race teams and give you an opportunity to be at the highest level. They're allowing everyone to feel comfortable in the sport, and at the end of the day, have one common goal, that's win races and compete at a high level. Especially with the D4D guys and guys that came to that program, we make sure we communicate actually on pit road, and we give each other encouragement, we give each other confidence, and we talk. We talk about how we may be doing, whether that's a younger guy or a veteran guy. We make sure we communicate those things, and the community's been well, all up and down NASCAR. Once you go out there, you perform at the highest level, you instantly get respect from the garage.
Darrell was the first black over-the-wall pit crew member to win the Daytona 500 when Austin Dillon won the Great American Race in 2018.
Austin Dillon leads the pack off turn number 4. No one ever thought he would contend for the win, but he's going to do it. He's going to win the 60th running of the Daytona 500.
Well, winning the Daytona 500, it affected me because, first of all, I was just showing up to do my job. It just so happened to be that day I made history as well by winning the Daytona 500. And that's a big deal, right? It gives people hope. It gives people feel like that, if Darrell can, I can type of feel. And it's super special. I don't think I'm really going to understand exactly what that means until I'm out of the sport, if I'm being honest. Because I still don't look at it as super big. Once again, I feel like I was just showing up to do what I supposed to do.
But what does the future of the program look like? How do we get new, diverse people involved in the sport of NASCAR? Well, one route is through online racing, like iRacing. It's a way to get your foot in the door without having to go out and buy a car and hit the track, as Raja Karuth explains.
Since I started sim racing, right, that's a very good way to get into the sport, not just from being a driver, but from learning about engineering, marketing, public relations. There's so many different skills you can learn from iRacing in particular and different esports competitions. There are plenty of drivers and sim racers that I've gotten to know over the years that have parlayed that into real life rides and careers, but also engineering gigs, public relations gigs, marketing, social media. From a connection standpoint, because I didn't really honestly have the funding to be able to start racing from a legend car standpoint, from a karting standpoint. And so iRacing was my really only option from a cost perspective in the first place. And then from connections I developed on the sim as well. So I think it's just the easiest way to get involved in racing if you don't have a track that's nearby. So you gotta say that the best option, right, is to start showing up at your local racetrack, whether it's a short track, a Cup Series track, any car, whatever the case may be, to just kind of put a name with a face, get yourself out there, make a difference. And then obviously for people that grow up in cities, it's not that easy to do so. So sim racing, I think, is the next best option and the inexpensive option as well.
Brandon Thompson sees this as a valuable way to reach a new demographic.
Technology will be and will continue to play a huge part in how we continue to sort of evangelize the sport and the opportunities that it provides. A platform like iRacing and understanding what it's meant not only for Raja Karuf but for William Byron, someone else who has been really successful in the sport, I think is important. And so we have to continue to sort of stay on the leading edge of that, I think, and continue to find new ways. But the best part about that is that it's an additional barrier that has now been sort of torn down, right? And so the technology and things that goes into iRacing, the accuracy and how you're able to actually hone your skills and how that translates, while not one-to-one, but if you've got talent, I think what it proves is that if there's something there, you can then take that talent and then apply that to a real race car. And then at that point, it's just about learning the racecraft, about doing it in real time, right? And so I think, who knows, with AI and all the other things, what the trajectory of that will be. But certainly technology being a barrier breaker is something that I think sets the sport up for success, particularly in this space in the long term.
The program has grown and evolved over the past 20 years and will only continue to grow as it continues to charge into the future. But what does it mean to those who have gone through the program? I think it's best to let them tell you.
I was asked this question after Las Vegas about how I feel like things would change the sport. And essentially I was like, well, I would hope to one day that the sport, not just from being on the inside, but drivers, engineers, pit crew members, obviously, and and people at NASCAR and fans, that is as diverse as the country is. There's so many different types of people that live here in the United States of America, from hundreds of different countries and continents across the planet. For me, diversity is like a legitimate efforts to include everybody.
I think that we just are doing things in the right way and trying to promote people, not just because they look different, but because they look different and they're right for the job. Like, they're one of the best person for the job. I love that, and I love to see the support that we get from not only in the company, but the fan base. I think everyone just wants to see everyone have a fair shot at running after something they love.
It's like a family, and it's not like, oh, you did everything wrong or whatever, but like they will tell you what you need to improve, and they will also, like, if we had a car issue, they will take it too. So it's cool when you have that type of trust in your team and that type of trust in your driver, where you can have an open communication and just work towards the same goal.
I just think that we're better. NASCAR is a better organization. We've got a lot of great, fun, energetic connections, whether they're drivers, crew members, employees, team employees, NASCAR employees, doesn't matter. I think our world is just better blended now, and I sit back and look at that, and it's a proud feeling.
This is my 20th year. It's a bit surreal. I can't imagine another program as successful as this one. Everyone is amazed at what this program has offered, not only to its athletes, the driver development program, the internship program. I can't think of any other thing in the world that you can say has produced the amount of substance and leadership that program has produced. And that goes from top to bottom, and even that I saw at the racetrack. It's just don't stop, won't stop. I'm excited to see, the pit crew side of it progress even more, and where we're going with that. And at the end of the day, it's a good day to be a part of the NASCAR Drive for Diversity program.
It's an initiative that NASCAR has gotten right. We continue to get it right. We still have some hurdles, that we have to overcome. We still need more pit crewmen on the Cup Series that reflects the number of teams that we have. And we definitely need some more drivers. One of the major reasons for that is, of course, you want to increase that fan base. By bringing everybody in, inclusion is important. Diversity is here to stay.
And as to the future?
The ideal situation is it doesn't, not just NASCAR, but any organization, any company, any state, city, county, business there is that it all blends together. And you don't have to have a specific effort for somebody to get an opportunity to be a part of it. But we'll keep working on our program until that day happens.
Over the next 20 years, the program's always going to evolve, but I still feel like the core of the program is going to be the same, right? Producing drivers to win at the national level. And, obviously, as NASCAR changes, the program's going to have to change as well. And I think eventually you're going to see maybe the driver diversity program in NASCAR, right? You know, with a really diverse group of drivers. Hopefully I'm still racing, right? I'm 23. There's people a little bit older than I'd be in 20 years at 43 still racing in the Cup Series. So I know to do that right, you got to win races and championships. You're not going to make it 20 years in the sport not doing that.
I think you'll see an innovation of a school, a pool, where you can go and grab these top athletes. They're all over social media, they're training, they're showing what they can do. It's the elite. It's not just anybody because of the color of your skin. It's going to be the elite of the elite, no matter how you look. And there's going to be a pool or a place for that to go and these race teams be able to pull from and implement immediately.
I would love for people to see my talent and see that, you know, female drivers are just as good as males, and that we have talent and that we want to go out and we want to win. And I think that that's an important thing that most people don't see very often. And so I'm excited to showcase that.
I just think the biggest thing would be just, you know, promote those individuals that need to be promoted and not just be the status quo. I think they're on a good track and a good pace to, you know, keep moving along and getting people in good spots. And then once you get, you know, those diverse people in the positions, then that's only going to create more diversity. So I think those individuals now that are in those spots like Brandon, you have the doors opening. And then once he moves up, that doors will stay open so somebody can follow and ride his coattail.
Success is certainly something that we look at in the diversity and inclusion space that's not necessarily a destination, but more of a journey. At the end of the day, I guess if I had to put a pin on it, it's me not having a job. It's no longer having a need for a diversity, equity, and inclusion department. But at the same time, to the point of it being a journey, I'm not sure, because people will continue to evolve. Everything continues to evolve and move forward. There will always, I feel like, be something that will require this space, and at least for someone to be, and for companies to be in tune, right, and to sort of understand the landscape across the space. So ultimately, success looks like this sort of pipeline that we've talked about, where there's drivers, crew members, career people behind the camera, in front of the camera, that it looks like America. And that's a bit of a cliche, but I think it's really important when you look at the success of other businesses and sports and these things. It is because everything that America is kind of come together in one place and been able to help businesses grow and thrive, and that's what the country is about. And I think that's no different for NASCAR, the motorsports industry.
Thank you for listening to our 10-episode celebration of 20 years of NASCAR's Drive for Diversity program. While we can't predict what the next 20 years will look like for the program, if the last 20 years are any indication, the sky is the limit, and NASCAR will be driving change.